Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be, to everyone, and welcome to the Liquid Green Health Show, where wellness meets wisdom naturally. First of all, before we start, I want to give a big shout out to our beautiful nieces.
Our twin,
Yeah,
the only twins in
the
the
only
family.
twins in the family.
At least, no, not the only twins. We have another set of older twins in Chicago.
Ooh.
Um,
Oh, yes.
Stephanie
Yeah,
and Robert.
yeah.
So this is our second set of twins, and they turned 29 today. And I remember going with them to the hospital, with the mom, to the hospital, and waiting until 3:30 and 3:33 downstairs.
How come you're always present at these? This is the second time in the family. Once you actually delivered.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, that's for another show. Although I have spoken about that before.
You've done so many things. Anyway, big shout out to them. Happy birthday to you both. This evening, Janet and I are joined by a very special guest. His name is Dexter Walcott, whose story is one of discipline, transformation, faith, and personal discovery.
And I just want to say, folks that are listening, sometimes in life you meet you know somebody for many, many years and you don't really know them. And sometimes you meet people for a few minutes and you feel as if you know them very well. Well, this is one of these stories because Dexter, we met less than a week ago. We met a few days ago at one of Jamal's first Friday. I want to big up Jamal as well in Pickering for his in Durham, I should say, first Fridays, because at that meeting you meet so many new people and they're always so motivated and they're enthusiastic, new businesses, old businesses, and people are sharing and helping each other. So he's doing a good job. But he has to because he's my friend's son, Sandra's son. And we know Sandra is awesome, right? Anyway, I'm just sharing that because it's personal and it's important. And that's how we met Dexter. I met Dexter just on Friday night. And I walked in and he was presenting. He was the last presenter because I started at 8 and I got there at the end at 11. So they did save the best for last, right, Dexter? We're going to say that shamelessly.
Yeah.
And
typical West Indian time, right?
What caught my eye, or my ears, I should say, was the fact that you said you have retired your mom and yourself. You're 36 years old. You're financially stable, that you are retired. You work because you want to, not because you have to.
Yes.
Right? And that really caught my interest. And even though it's a wealth, it was a wealth, no, it was a health.
Yes, it was a health.
It was the presentations, it was the theme was on health and wellness. And so you and I spoke briefly, and you mentioned that you're on a special journey, a special fast. So what we're going to do, we're going to have you do a little bit more intro about yourself.
Okay.
And Frederick is going to ask you a little bit about the book that you sent to us by email that we couldn't get to, right? But we know a little bit that you're talking about the wealth. So let's get the wealth aspect out of it because I'm curious, we don't know.
Yeah.
And our audience would love to know how at 36, in these trying times where so many are living paycheck to paycheck, how have you been able to retire yourself, your mom, and just having a great life at 36? Frederick, too late for you. You can't turn the clock back.
No, I can't.
So
I wish I could. The same thing I was saying to our nieces. I wish I, had their time.
Yes.
Their time.
But guess what? 75 is not too old anymore.
Time is as you
could live
it's relative.
110. Anyway, Derek, it's about you.
It's never too late to start. It's never too late.
Dexter, you wrote a book, and we haven't had a chance to read it. I just want you to tell us a little bit about the book. We don't want to get too much into it because, as I mentioned to you off the air, the focus today is on your journey, your health experience. But tell us a little bit about the book. It's called Fundamental, The Beginner's Blueprint to Financial Freedom.
And it's fund as in F-U-N-D, right?
Yes.
Fundamental.
Right.
Yes.
I'm picking up a lot from that title. So go ahead.
So I can give you a little background about myself. I was born in St. Lucia. moved to the States. After the States, I moved to Canada. After Canada, I moved back down to the States to study business in university. Little after I came back to Canada. So we're here now. I was blessed to be able to acquire the knowledge, to be able to become financially free, um, liabilities and assets of those sorts. And I just believe that, God has blessed me with the knowledge, and with that knowledge, I put it into action. And I live it day by day. I live the information that I've transferred into this book, I live it every day.
Okay. So this was not an inheritance.
This was not an inheritance.
That's the easy way out, right?
Yes, exactly.
So what
Well,
about
I could say it might be an inheritance from my Father in heaven, definitely.
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah.
So what are some of the things, like let's spend a few minutes on it. What are
Mhm.
some of the things that you were able to do? Why you have a book, how would people get it? And if they do get it, what are they going to learn from it? Is that going to help them to also improve their lives in terms of financials? Financial?
Yes, I do believe so. I think that we all have things in our reach. I try to look within what I have already. I utilize the things that I already have, and I work on that.
Mhm. Okay.
So it's basically using the gift that you were given. First of all, you have to recognize that gift. And then once you recognize it, is pursue it with a passion. And that's what you did, right?
Exactly.
But I want the
Okay.
details. I want the meat. Give us one thing that you did. Did you make a good investment? Were you lucky to meet somebody to help you, a mentor? How did you get started? We just want to hear. We don't want the whole journey because we want people to buy the book and read it, right?
Yes, exactly.
But
So,
but we want to
um,
hear why they should. Mhm.
me and potatoes. I can give you a story. I worked at a milk factory a couple of years back, and I had met everybody on the floor. I was new. I met everybody on the floor. I spoke to a couple of people. They let me know that they were working there for 10, 15 years, even 30 years, and it had baffled me that I was able to meet somebody that had been working in this company for 30 years, and that just kind of told me this was not the place that I wanted to stay in.
Right.
So I ventured out. Um, you know, my first condo that I got, um, I was able to get, and I decided to do Airbnb, as well as rent out the space. Right.
Oh,
So I utilized what I had, and started to um, make an income from it.
okay.
Yeah.
There we go. So you dabble in real estate. And
Yeah.
of course, for those of us who know, real estate is something you absolutely, it's such a controversial thing. Our daughter is real estate. She's been on the show, Kira Anderson
Yeah.
with Remax. And quick plug. And with real estate, you absolutely can if you do things right. You
Correct.
can also lose your shirt if you do things wrong or if you're in the
Exactly.
wrong time frame.
Yeah.
You really have to recognize the timing, right? They said it's not about time in the market, but time in the market.
Hmm.
Right? So you're young, you got lucky, you were smart, and you were able um
Put
to
those skills together and
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't. I
right.
wouldn't. I wouldn't say that I was lucky. Honestly, I really do believe that I was highly favored and blessed in the
Okay,
situation because it could have gone any which way, right? And
okay,
I think just utilizing, pushing through, because we all have struggles and pitfalls that we can fall into. But I just believe that if you have a goal in mind, whatever comes your way, you should be able to overcome them.
and that
go.
sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
All right,
Because
that
I'm going to swing over to
okay, that lets me understand that your faith already your faith is very powerful to you. It's very meaningful.
It
It's
is.
something that you hone in on.
Yes.
And so I believe when we met again and you talked about your 30-day fast,
Yes.
It wasn't for medical reasons. It was a spiritual journey. So
Correct.
I think that's what we want to talk
Yeah,
about
that's what
today.
I want to swing to that. Thanks
Hmm.
for, giving us an eye opener as to, what started you on the journey. Because
Hmm.
I'm guessing that from that experience that you had working in the factory and meeting other people, that drove you to realize that there is something else in you that you could make a change that would last for lifetime,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
So,
because you know what, Dexter, when you say 30 years, some people are in a job for 40 years
Yes.
and then they retire at 65 and then they die at 70.
Hmm.
It's sad for some people. Some people cannot
Yes.
quit, they cannot leave.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
anyway, tell us about
Yeah,
your
I want to hear about this story. The reason we brought you on the show
Yeah.
is for you to tell us about this challenge that you've had,
Hmm.
this journey, a 30-day journey, a 30-day
because
fast.
that's not normal, right?
Because
Normal people just don't get up and fast 30 days unless they're really sick or something.
not just that, normal young people
Yes.
wouldn't do that, right? So there had to be something that inspired you. So I want to hear about the physical journey. I want to hear about the mental,
Emotional, right?
tenacity that you had to develop and the emotional drive and spirit, that spiritual connection that you had,
Hmm. Hmm.
put you through this journey. So tell us about it. What inspired you to go on a 30-day fast?
Well, I mean, lives, right? Life lives, and we all there's ups and downs in life, and I was just at a point in my life where I needed another change.
Mhm.
And one day, I was praying to God and just asking Him to take the weight off of my shoulders. Um, So I found myself, I went to church that Sunday. I brought my troubles and my tribulations to my father, and in doing so, after that service that Sunday, I went home and there was a fire in my belly. There was a fire in my belly, and like I said to you, I needed a change. Um, so which resulted in me fasting, which resulted in me um, withholding consumption of all the worldly things. We don't realize the different things that we consume on a day to day, the different directions or energy that we put into other things. And I just felt at that time that I needed isolation, and I need to withhold my fleshly world desires. I would never say to anyone, "Hey, just don't eat for 30 days," because it literally was a day by day, situation and choice that I made every day, right? And then after a while, it became natural. I realized that I was I was not hungry, right? I was actually not hungry. It was the fact that um I wasn't hungry for food, right?
Yeah.
I was hungry for change, and just the fact that
Was it the change that you're talking about?
Mhm.
Was this a change for a physical change? Were you overweight? Were you
So it wasn't about the weight. It was about lifestyle, right? It was about
okay?
it was about things I needed God to do in my life and step in the gap for me. And it just one day, then 2 days, and then 3 days, and lo and behold, I'm realizing how much we're very habitual creatures, right? Um,
Yeah.
so there was no hunger for food,
Okay.
right? When I did feel, that maybe my stomach was, upset for a second, I would have a little bit of water just to keep hydration, make sure that everything is moving as it should be. And lo and behold, 30 days later, I
Yeah.
got a transformation.
So,
God was able to do what I needed him to do in my life.
so what other things did you give up then? Because, we're all worldly people. Did
Hmm
you continue to go to church? Did you spend a lot of time in meditation? Did
So
you give up
yes,
anything? What else did you have to, what else did you feel like art? What else did you give up? Yeah.
yeah. So I gave up in that time. I gave up drinking.
Mhm.
Um, I did still go to church on Sundays because I made that a
Mhm.
point for it to I made it a point to go and be present. Um, I refrained from social media,
Okay.
TV,
Okay.
spending money. So I just kind of refrain myself from my worldly pleasures.
So
That
you
is,
basically took yourself out of the noise, right?
yes.
Get away. Like I call what you're explaining, I call that living in the noise. You're
Hmm
surrounded with all these distractions. A very difficult thing to do because we have all these distractions. And at your age, social media is it. Like a lot of people at your age figure, well, if they're not on the phone or on the computer or on the TV, their life is lost. So you made a decision to take yourself out of the noise,
Correct.
We
right?
we had a similar experience, but it was something that we planned.
Hmm
We're Vipassana. We
Oh,
were
yes. Yeah.
experimenting, I should say, because not right now I would say we're non-religious. We're not
hmm
church goers,
hmm
but we're definitely connected to our higher source. We're definitely connected to God.
Yes.
But we went to a thing, I think we've spoken about it on the show before, Vipassana. So you were eating, they would feed us, but for 1 week, we were totally detoxed. No social media, no phone, no books,
Nothing.
no, not even a pen.
No pens, no
You were just
pencils.
Mhm.
left with your thoughts and with deep meditation.
Yeah.
And it was life changing. I know Frederick was a lot more, he was a way more successful than I was because I couldn't get away from the noise. I couldn't
Mhm.
get away from wanting to talk to somebody. Because even when we were sitting at meals, we sat with our faces to the wall and therefore we weren't in contact. So we were with other people, but not
Mhm.
with other people. That was it.
Yeah.
So
So
Dexter,
what? Okay,
tell
go
tell
ahead.
me, tell our audience what experience did you have with your family and your friends? I mean, you were withdrawn
Yes.
and they saw a change. How did they react?
Tempted. I was very tempted. There's times when I took the family out and we all sat down to eat dinner, and they're ordering all of their favorite foods and
They're doing
my
it on
favorite food.
purpose. They're doing it on purpose.
Yeah, they put me to the test, right? They put me to the
Yeah.
test, and I was steadfast, and I was serious about this change in my life, and I thank them for that because it showed the willpower, right? It showed the control. Um, I'm
Mental
able to
control.
take back my control,
Yes.
right, over
That's
the things. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I get you. That was your wilderness experience.
Yeah.
And sometimes, so many times when people go through change, just as in the Bible, Jesus did, right? You
Mhm.
go through that wilderness experience and you come out truly inspired. You come out almost another person. So, what
Yes.
was that transformation for you?
So the transformation for me is, it's the transformation is just the byproduct of the discipline and the alignment for me, right? I was looking I wasn't looking for anything in particular. It was just a byproduct of me aligning, me being disciplined, and choosing to be a better version of myself.
Okay.
How
So,
tall are you?
I believe the doctor said 6'1", 6'1" or 6'2" on a
The,
good
the,
day.
the reason the reason I asked that question, yeah, someone's your height, and I'm looking at you here on camera. You're
Yeah,
a big guy.
yeah.
And you're going through this fast for 30 days.
hmm
It's a water fast, right?
Yeah, so I did have water at times, correct.
Okay, so and there's no heavy food, you're not getting your proteins and you're not getting your carbohydrates and stuff.
Nothing, zero.
That energy. How did you do it? Like, were you feeling weak at any time? I know there's going to be temptation the first few days for you to eat something.
Yeah.
Once you get over that urge to eat,
Yes.
and you put your body through the stress, because it's a very stressful experience for the body.
Yes.
How did you manage
To maintain.
to maintain that strength to go on for the rest of the days? What did you do?
Yes. Did you have some
Offset.
electrolytes, water?
Yeah.
What you said water, but what else? Because basically, if you were under medical supervision, they would have probably been suggesting,
Yeah.
bone broth or some of those other things that.
Yeah, it's just water. That's all I had. I walked some days, and it was just water. It's funny because my mom at the time was telling me, maybe I should put some mineral salt, in the water just so that, I don't cramp up. And I told her I want nothing in my water. I like strictly water. And I just, 30 days later, I see the results.
Did you you must have lost some weight though, right?
I've lost over 70 pounds. I'm trying to be modest, but we'll call it 70.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You mean during that period?
After the 30 days when I weighed myself, I lost over 70 pounds.
Oh
Have you regained anything, or you're managing to keep it off?
So I've gained about maybe 10 pounds because I have started to consume, soups and a little bit more solid foods.
And I guess with that experience, you've learned to eat better quality food.
Nutrition now is
most definitely. I've made it intentional that once the reset has happened, we're going to put healthier things within our body.
No. Were there moments when you question your decision? Like, why am I doing this? Am I crazy? Did you go through that experience?
I did not. I did not.
There was no fear whatsoever.
There was no fear. I'm told sometimes, not to tell people certain things, especially when you're doing it, because they try to inject, their opinions and, their feelings onto it. And I started to see that later on when, I would let someone know that I was fasting, but I was clear-minded. I was on the path and nothing was going to take me off.
So I have been trying to fast intermittently, just 16 hours.
Yeah.
A challenge. My daughter, she is going to start a 3-day water fast.
Yes.
Intentionally, right? And for both of us, discipline is a challenge. But this was not, your experience wasn't just normal discipline. Yours was divinely
inspired.
I do believe so.
Right. So do you think that made a difference? Like, do you believe if you were, say, the Dexter of this world, who was trying like most other people to do this? Because this is not something easy to do. And that's why we were so impressed with it, right?
Yeah.
I know that people who are really sick, best ways to heal the body is through fasting.
It's the fasting, correct.
But usually they're with their doctor and their nutritionist and they're being checked on all the time. This kind of thing, right? So your energy level, I think you asked about that already. Day to day, was there at any point you felt like I could just quit?
You know what? I'll tell you this. I never put time on it, right? I never put a time on it. I think once I started to put a time on it, that's when it started to become a little bit of a struggle. It was the fact that, I was just going day by day. I had made that decision. After the third day, you realize you're actually not hungry. It's really in the mind. And if you can get past that, you're coasting, right? But as soon as you decide to say, like, I'm gonna do it for another 10, because I had already did like the 30 days and I was coming up to like 28, 29, and I'm starting to count, and that's when it it started
Sure.
to, weigh kind of down on me because I'm like, I want to go further, right? I want to go further. But I would never advise anyone to just, stop eating. I would definitely say, do it in increments, maybe, you remove one meal a day first, right? Lunch, maybe you eat breakfast and then you eat dinner and you take out lunch, those are good starts, right? Those are
Right.
good starts.
Now you sound like a very uh you sound like a prayer warrior, for lack of a better term, right? And I want to know, and I'm certain that that's what helped you mentally, helped you to stay focused. Were you praying a lot? Were you meditating? Were you reflecting on any special deity? What gave you that strength?
Definitely say there was a lot of inward reflection. There's a lot of time you spend with yourself. And you're brushing out the path, right? You're brushing out the path that the
Yeah.
path that you want to take, right? So, mental clarity, I haven't been this clear in a very long time. I know what I want. I'm going after what I want. There's nothing that can stop me now. I truly do believe that. And yeah, I'm just grateful and thankful.
Mhm.
Okay. Should
So
we go?
you basically he found himself,
Yeah.
right? And that's a deep inner spiritual feeling.
Hmm.
You connect with a source that is greater than you.
Correct.
That's your sustenance. That's
Yes.
the energy to move on. You
Correct.
you're able to plan, focus, and see things much clearer.
Exactly.
You're not distracted by the foods. You're not distracted by the worldly noise because you've made that decision to abstract yourself from the madness around you.
A question for you. When was this? How long ago was this?
Yeah.
Was that pre your ability financially, or was that post, like after you have already
That
accomplished?
was that was post. I've you know I've done it before. I've done it before where you become a little bit healthier, but sometimes you fall off, right? We all fall short of the glory sometimes. But if you truly are searching to be a better you, I believe that spiritually, God first, and everything falls into place.
No, I was thinking about your financial journey.
Hmm.
You fast long before, and did that inspire you or help you to make some of the decisions you made in terms of your wealth choices, your financial empowerment choices?
Financially, I already made those decisions and
Oh,
choices, right? I was already in a good financial place.
okay.
This had to do with the man that I see in the mirror.
Okay.
Oh,
Yes,
make
Michael.
that change. Yes, Michael. We heard you.
Michael J.
Okay, we're gonna take a
email.
we're gonna take a short break. We have quite a few email to read, and I'm going back from about this. We got a couple of them came in just before the
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
This is from Ray. Before I get to the email, let me just remind our listeners, folks, you're listening to the Liquid Green Health Show. Our guest today is Dexter Walcott, who took an amazing journey and a challenge to go through a 30-day fast. And he's telling us about that journey today. He's also an author, he's a public speaker, he's an entrepreneur. And the first question, we have a question someone is asking if you have a book, and I'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But the first email I want to get to this is from Ray, and Ray says, "Hello to Janet and Fred. Is your guest today a priest or a pastor?" Thank you. I'm going to let you answer that.
I'm not a priest. I don't know what God has in store for me yet. I'll never close the door on that. If I can help anybody, I would love to.
So what's your religion? What denomination, if you don't mind sharing, is that a
Freestyle. He's a freestyle guy.
Well, no, I am a Christian. I would definitely say I'm a Christian. I believe in God. Yeah.
Okay. Somebody had asked, what will your show be tomorrow? That was Irene. Thank you for requesting. And Joyce had said, tomorrow topic for tomorrow. No more rodents. No, this is definitely
That was
not.
last week.
That was a creepy show, and we're acknowledging that was awful. Okay.
There's one from Steve, and Steve is saying, your guest, he's asking if you have a book out. Yes, he does. And I'm going to let him tell you about the book and how to get it, because they want to know if you do have a book, how can they purchase it?
I am on Instagram, confidently.firm.
What is it? Confidently?
Confidently.firm.
Okay.
You could find me there on Instagram. With my link in the bio, you could buy the book there, or you can go on my Instagram. I have a QR code that you can scan, and it'll take you right to the book.
Okay, so we're not going Amazon. This is a direct to the
Exactly, it's direct
to the author.
Okay.
Yes.
And you can give that out to, just before the show ends again. And here's one from Rachel, and she's saying, sounds like a winning topic today. That one came in earlier, right?
Yes, people are happy. Last week we talked about this disease that we catch from
hantavirus. Yeah, we're talking about
hantavirus, right? Hantavirus. So
kind of creep people out. And Linda says, locality. Is your guest today local in the GTA? So tell our audience,
that I am. I'm all in the GTA. You can
right. Are you Durham based or Toronto based?
Both.
Both. Okay.
Both.
All right.
So while we're asking, while that question is in the air, you want to give them your, other than your Instagram, is there a contact number that you can share with the audience?
Is there a contact number?
Or an email?
Yes, I can give them my email.
Right.
mr.walcut@gmail.com.
Mr. Walcott at gmail.com. That's Mr. Walcott.
Is that one T or TT?
One T.
One T.
At gmail.com. And Pam is saying, hey, Coxes, does this spirituality inspired fast have anything to do with food? If so, Fred would
fail.
Well, I would fail.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Our audience knows Fred.
They know me well, man. They know I'm a foodie, right? I definitely would fail. 30 days.
Fred, you don't get this big by not being a foodie as well, too, right? So you can don't not believe that you can't do it.
Yeah. But I don't know if I
would not do it for 30 days. I would do the intermittent thing, like I'm accustomed to that. But to go, strictly the way he did it, for me, that's punishment.
Yeah. I know that I promised my audience I was going to check out Wegovy, one of the GLP drugs, or listeners. And folks, I am going to be sharing that with you, like what happened, etc. But not now, but I'm thinking so many people need help. We need crutches. We need pills and potions and whatever. And you just use the power of your mind.
But that's it. That's the key. That's why
realize is that we have within us
the power,
strength. Just don't know how to tap into it.
Right? Yeah, that's because we're living in that noise. That's what my affirmations are about.
I was just about to say that. I really need to take your affirmations more serious.
I don't want to, rain on his parade, but I do have an affirmation series that I do. But
I'm thinking you just got off everything, no TV, no social media, whatever.
It's great.
If I had to get off Netflix for a month, probably I would be
I'll take it to emergency.
We're so caught up with our with our things that affect us worldly wise, you know?
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Mhm.
back to the email. Here's one from Brian and Janet and Fred. Happy birthday to your nieces. Thank you very
Leah and
much. Yep.
Tatiana.
Hans says, hello, Liquid Green. Thanks for the guest today. All right. Thank you.
Florence, I want to read that. Florence says, and you have to answer this. Did Dexter just pray for money?
Definitely not.
Not right. Yeah.
Definitely not.
Because trust me, if you did, it wouldn't come.
Exactly.
No.
But then there's nothing wrong with that though, is there?
Yes, there is something definitely, which I'll get into it on another show, but you don't pray for money.
Why not?
Because
That's what
because no,
that's what a lot of people
no,
pray for.
that's the
You pray
problem.
for the things money can buy.
No.
Is that what you're saying?
God or the universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you who you are. See, that's it. And then I'll have to explain that another because
That
he proved it. He
yeah.
proved it, right? But that's a whole different thing. You don't get what you want. You get what you want.
Somebody who is spiritually inclined,
Yeah.
somebody as a young person who had the fortitude to accomplish something that a lot of other people really couldn't without a lot of help.
Yeah, but he
Even
recognized
so,
who he is.
right?
And that's the energy that he took into the
Yes,
journey that he wanted to do.
exactly. But if somebody else is on a journey that their life is a total wreck and they need a financial guidance, look at the church.
Janet,
Of course, praying for money. I
Janet,
don't
I'm
think
not going to get into that. I'm not going to get into that. But
you
what you
said it,
no,
but I
what
disagree.
you're saying is totally wrong. Anyway,
It's not wrong. It's a
anyway,
difference of
we
opinion.
have
It's a difference of opinion, right, Dexter?
oh,
It's a difference of opinion. And
let's deal with our guest.
I know, but there's never anything wrong with your prayers. In other words,
I'm not going to get in. I don't want to get into
to pray
Janet.
for
I
anything.
don't want to get into that. It's a totally different topic. Here's an email from Pam. Pam is saying, buy a lottery ticket and hope for the best. That's what she's saying.
Okay.
Right?
Our folks are funny. All right. Kim said, right on. Bless this guy. He's a believer. All right. How young were you when you realized there was a power outside yourself or inside yourself?
I want to say maybe around in my late 20s,
Okay.
middle 20s.
Mhm.
And you know what? You know what I admire about you? Um, and the fact that you're a very young individual and you were able to recognize that that power that is within you, that gift that you have, all it needed was a little fine tuning.
Mhm.
And you did it in a remarkable way. You did it in an unconventional way because a lot of people do things differently. Some people go to drugs, some people get into all kinds of stuff to find themselves. But you found yourself the correct way. And you took on a challenge that many people your age wouldn't do it. And that is to cleanse the body so that the spirit could work through you properly.
Yes.
Right? And that is
Yes.
what you do. And that's
Yes.
why you're so successful.
It-
Because you recognize that in order for that universal, I refer to it as the universal God force. In
mm,
order for that force to work within you, you first have got to make the commitment to want to make the change. Right?
Amen.
Because no matter how we pray and we ask God for things, if you don't make that commitment,
and
you
put in
don't
the work.
understand that you have to put in the work,
Yes.
force, whether you call it God or energy or what, it's not going to be successful in doing what you want to accomplish. And so I give you credit for that.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much.
Give you
And
credit for
that
that.
actually, Frederick, I'd say that's actually powerful what you just said.
Yes.
I believe it will help to answer the next email because Lenny says, so in a nutshell, what did a fast have to do with money? So, Lenny, as Fred just explained, the fast, Dexter, you agree, the fast had nothing to do with money.
It did not.
It had nothing because that's not where he was coming from, Lenny. He already was in a financially secure place, but this is just something, as they say in the church, it was laid upon your heart,
Yeah.
basically, right? That you just felt this is something you needed to do for your own mental, spiritual journey. It's just something you had to do. And even I think once a decision was made, you couldn't fight it, I bet. Right?
Exactly.
There's no turning back. Once you make a
Exactly.
commitment,
Yep.
when you make a divine commitment to yourself, it's hard to turn back. So kudos to you.
I want to ask you, how did this journey that you did, this 30-day journey, how did it affect your thoughts and your emotions? Like, how did you feel? Did you at any time felt as though you're going into a different state of mind? Were your thoughts affected? Your emotions? I don't know. How did you feel?
Yeah, most definitely. You know, more of a regulation of emotions. Um, certain things that possibly would make you emotional, or certain things that would upset you, or whatever the case may be. It's the controlling of the mind, right?
Yeah,
It's getting in control of yourself.
yeah,
And we all deal with our day-to-day things, and it gives you that willpower to understand anything that comes, you can deal with it.
yeah. I meditate a lot,
Yeah.
and from my experience of meditating, the mind is like a wild horse,
Mhm.
right? It's always running wild, and it's picking up all kinds of messages and creating all kinds of emotions, and it is our duty to tame it.
Mhm.
And that's what you did in your exercise.
Yeah.
You were able to tame that, wild horse or wild monkey, and
Yes.
sit down
You,
and
you
say,
you made a comment about like the food, right? Like,
yeah,
naturally you go on the road and you think, hey, I want to stop here. I want to stop over here to grab some,
right,
right? Like
yeah,
the places, the things, and the people, you become more intentional.
mm-hmm,
You get rid of the fluff, right?
yeah.
If that makes any sense.
The challenge, you're on a challenge. You're on a warpath.
Yeah.
You
We
got you got to
we
stay with it.
have we have an interesting email from Alexis, and Alexis says, "No offense here in bold, and no disrespect to the hosts. Fred and Janet on their radio show stated that they do not go to church. That's correct. Or believe in God. That's incorrect. So, Alexis, the second part is not correct. So, how would they do this? So,
First of all,
Mhm.
there are lots of people in our audience who, because of how we or I speak sometimes about religion and stuff like that, those are my personal views.
They think you're an atheist,
God
but
is a
you're not.
concept that was created by humans. And I won't go further than that. But if you do the research and you study it, you realize that what people call God, or what religion teaches as God, has nothing to do with our humanity, right? So it's
You
not
think
that I do not,
you think
no, let me
confuse
finish.
people
It's not that I do not believe, I know.
that
There's
there
a
is a
difference between belief and knowing,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And knowledge trumps belief any day.
Yeah,
So I know that there is a supreme entity, a supreme force that
that
is
we call
greater than I.
yeah, and that you don't
Right.
need to go to
You don't
church to
need to.
find that.
So I wanted to touch on, I believe one of your guests had a comment about what does the wealth have to do with, or the money have to do with it. I really do believe it's all connected. Spiritual wellness, health, and abundance.
Abundance. Yep.
Yes, without
That's the
without
term.
without the health, how can you enjoy the wealth, right?
Right.
And you can be healthy, and if your pockets aren't right, life can be hard, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just without God, um you know I was able to find my purpose, by putting God first in my life. and
Yeah.
and like I said, I'm just happy, and I'm thankful to be here.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's a
Alexis,
very good
no
take.
offense taken,
Yeah.
and we're happy when people can, say what's on their mind.
Yeah.
And Rhonda Frederick is saying happy belated to you.
Well, thank you
So
very much.
thanks. And Bill said, would Fred be able to do this without eating his cookies?
No, I got to eat
No.
cookies.
You possibly could go 3 days if you were sick.
I could go a week.
You could not.
How do you know that?
Because in 75 years, you've never done it.
How do you know I can't?
No, you,
How do you know I can't?
it's your, you can't. You can't even go 5 hours. Well, actually, anyway.
That's not true.
Okay, you can go 5 hours.
The show is not about me anyway.
Brian says, maybe I'm missing something here. But how does this fast make money? People, I think we probably set out the wrong tone in the beginning. I don't know, because folks are sending in the emails and it's nothing to do. They're not connected.
We only touch on the financial aspect of it because he's an author and he wrote a book.
Or get someone financially stable. Thank you, Bree, right? So explain again, because we seem to get this question over and over, right?
Mm-hmm.
What stage were you in financially, and what actually caused you? You said it was just something that, explain to that again so that people understand.
Okay.
There is not a direct you didn't go to fast for money.
Money.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
So
No, I did not. I fasted for a lifestyle change, to a better version of myself. When I look at the man in the mirror, after the 30 days, I'm proud to sit here and speak, right? When it comes to financial, I have already set up my assets in order for me to be in a position to be financially free.
Right.
Which I don't have to work a 9 to 5. I work because there's a passion and I have a purpose.
Yeah.
Right. But you don't have to.
You don't have to.
I don't have to.
And you did all this because you discovered that there were certain things, as you said, fears, habits, and other beliefs that you had that you just want to wash it away.
Yes, exactly.
And that's basically what it is. And because you are a God-fearing person, you're a prayer warrior, you took that. Now, maybe you're not, but you believe in prayer.
Yeah.
And you're a church goer.
Yes.
Took that tool and you used it to benefit and improve your life. That's basically.
Yes. Yes.
And Cindy says, and this is true. This is a logical comment. Fasting is generally good for folks if they do it right and do not do it often, right? It cleanses the body of toxins. It cleanses them, it clears the mind, and it renews all aspects of the body. I will just say amen to that.
Amen to that.
Yeah,
amen.
because that is, nobody can.
I'm definitely a testimony of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now Gail says, doesn't the body store fat when it realizes that there are no calories coming in? So how does this work exactly? Now, we're not doctors, we're not medical people, but I would like to answer this question another time, Gail, because that requires a show on fasting, where we'll do the homework and talk about the physical benefits, etc., and the do's and don'ts of fasting. All right, so let's leave that one after.
Could I would like to answer a question. Sure. Just a short answer. The body starts to use the fat as fuel. It literally starts to eat itself. Right. So
it goes to where because it stores food,
Yeah.
You go along because it's always saying to itself, there's going to come a time when I won't have anything. So when you do go into that state of basically starving the body from new nutrients, it goes to its warehouse.
Yeah, that's what even intermittent fasting for a few hours, that's what it does. Because if you're constantly eating, then the body is using the new supply of food. But where it's not getting a new supply every minute, like consistently during the day, then it feeds on the fat reserves. And
Exactly. You give it time, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Now, I need to ask you, now that you have finished your fast,
yes,
there are going to be more challenges. Right. And
Yes.
they're going to come in all different forms now.
Yes.
How do you
Yes.
handle that level of, discomfort that you're going to be experiencing?
Well, right now I'm just trying to keep it simple, right? I'm keeping it simple. I'm not rushing. I'm not rushing into all the foods that I loved before,
Yeah.
right? Like I said, my first week or so after I finished my 30-day fast, I consumed soup.
Yes.
Because you have to gently get back into it.
Yes, exactly. I consume soup just to be on the safe side, right? Um, and just naturally just, incorporating solids within my diet.
What's your favorite food?
What's my favorite food?
Yes. What do you like the most?
Everything now.
What is my favorite? I love Caribbean food. I love Caribbean food, most
Are
definitely.
you into the curry goat and the oxtail?
Hey, I love those things. That's why I'm trying. That's why I'm staying. I'm still staying away from them right now.
Oh dear. Okay, we have a few more emails we want to get to. Jake says, interesting show today. Fred, if you try this, no sweet.
Why do everybody think that it's so bad?
Okay, and Joe has a big compliment for you. Joe says, blessings. I feel like raising my hand and saying amen.
Amen.
Blessings to this guy. God is king and will lead us. So that's exactly what happened to you. You were led through this journey, correct?
Yes. Yes. Correct.
And Joy says, is juice okay for the fast instead of water? I'm
It
sure it could
depends. Yeah.
a water fast.
Yeah. I think
But you
water
can
would be
do
better. And this is just me saying that because juice has a lot of sugar.
Sugar. Exactly.
You need to stay away from too much of it if you're going to take any.
Exactly.
Larry says, hello, folks. Janet, I don't have to fast. If I saw a mouse in my house, I wouldn't eat for a year. Love the show today. Fantastic guest.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
You're doing a great job. It's really, really good. Okay. Um, okay, Mike is asking, and perhaps you can help us with this one. Does your guest still fast occasionally?
So yes, I'm still, I'll have maybe breakfast. I'll skip a lunch and I'll have dinner currently right now.
Okay.
Would you do another 30-day fast?
I would do another fast and I would not put a number on it.
Okay. Okay. That's good. Because people fast for various reasons, and we all know that regardless of the length of time that you're fasting, it does do something, to the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It helps the body to readjust itself
And heal.
and
Right?
heal.
Yep.
Is healing, and it also puts you in that frame of mind where you think differently.
Yeah.
Right, because it's a challenge.
I remember reading a book. It was I don't remember the title of it or anything, but it was about prisoners. I believe it was in a Middle Eastern prison or something. And there was a doctor there. And when the prisoners were ill, they were getting so little food anyway. But he used that. It was healing with fasting.
Mm-hmm.
Not just fasting, but water fasting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's amazing how it's probably as good as the modern drugs they have now.
Yeah.
Body can do this naturally. Let's get to a couple more before
Do we have any more?
Coxes, your guests should consider doing a radio or TV show about all of this.
Yeah, because that's
Reach a lot of people. Very interesting today.
Have you ever thought about that? I mean, other than what you're doing to promote your experience, have you ever thought of probably doing a podcast? Because you're a living example of doing a 30-day fast and still looking so good. You're young. You'll be an inspiration to young people.
He should be an inspiration to old people.
Why?
Like Fred.
No, I have actually. I have not. It's a good idea. Maybe maybe that'll be the next venture.
Trust me, you have been an inspiration to me because
Thank you.
I am overcome with my inability to use the power within me
Mm-hmm.
to control eating and doing the things that I love to do. That I think, as my friend Jackie said to me, Janet, you probably should spend more time on the spiritual side, right? The meditations, etc. And I think having met you, we're probably going to.
Not with you.
I am probably going to. So
I try my best.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut right now, and I'm going to say thank you, and I'm going to leave Fred to close us out.
You know,
Before I do, Gary.
Oh, yes, go ahead.
What do you think? How long do you think you could fast? Or how long have you fasted?
2
I've
hours.
fasted before. Usually it was, I'd say 2 weeks. Usually my fasts have been, and
Really?
yeah, I think I could do it. Yeah.
Gary, you're that much better than I.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
I'd probably cheat. But it's I.
Okay. So
Yeah.
with that,
Well,
I am
Dexter,
done.
this has been a pleasure. As I said, this show is conversational. That's what we wanted it to be. But before we go, take what's that? Oh, I thought we were off the air.
Yeah, it looked like for a minute.
Take a second and tell our audience how they could get your book, where to find it, and if there's an email and a phone number, feel free to give it out. Go ahead.
Yes, like I said, you can find me on Instagram at confidently.firm. Right there in the link, you will be able to get my book. If you see on my post, there also is a QR code. You can also reach me at mr.walcut@gmail.com.
Say that again, L?
M
M.
R
Mhm.
dot WALCUT
Oh, CUT. Okay.
at gmail.com.
Excellent.
Let's do that again, Fred. You said MR, Mr. So it's
Mr. Walcott spelled
No,
Mr. Walcott spelled WALCUT at gmail.com. That's his email. Once again, Mr. Walcott CUT at
How
gmail.com.
much is your book?
You got, I think it's around 36 CAD. if I'm not
Okay,
mistaken.
Canadian. So for Americans, they're going to get 25% off.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right off.
All right.
Okay, folks. Dexter, once again, thank you. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. And
Thank you.
to our audience, whether your goal is better health, greater peace of mind, stronger relationship, financial freedom, or a deeper spiritual connection, we hope that Dexter's experience has inspired you to reflect on your own journey and encourage you to take whatever step is needed in your life to become the best person. As Dexter, said, be the man in the mirror.
Yes. Before you finish the conclusion,
Yeah.
I have to say my little nephew, Kenute, who's with us, he's 10, and he says, when he heard your name, he says, Dexter?
Yeah, that character.
Dexter? And I'm saying, what do you know about Dexter? You're only 9 years old. He should know about Dexter. Anyway, you sound like the opposite of Dexter, right? Okay,
So, folks, on behalf of Janet and myself, thank you for spending this time with us. We appreciate each and every one of you for joining us on this continuing journey toward a better health. Until next time, same station, same
time.
Take care of your mind, nourish your body, and strengthen your spirit. And as we always say, let's stay healthy on Reality Radio 101.
Thank you for listening to the Liquid Green Health Show with your hosts, Fred and Janet Cox, right here on Reality Radio 101.